You are now sighted in with the Huntaz podcast. God speaker, where you at?
I'm God speaking. Born and raised New Orleans, Louisiana. I'm a gamer first and foremost. I'm a baker by trade. OT Skrilla. What's up? Tell these people who you are and where you from, man. This is one of our co-hosts.
So
So
I'm
I'm
OTK
OTK
Skrilla
Skrilla
out
out
of
of
New
New
Orleans,
Orleans,
Louisiana,
Louisiana,
preferably
preferably
the
the
West
West
Bank,
Bank,
you
you
hear
hear
me?
me?
I'm a
I'm a
music
music artist.
artist.
I'm a
I'm a
Marine Corps vet. Yeah, and I'm a gamer. So
What's up? We also got Pretty Face in the building, man. The owner of the Pretty Cartel. What's up, Pretty Face? How you doing?
I'm alive.
Lord, here we go. She's alive, people. I'm still alive. Wasn't that like a thing on TikTok? So let's introduce our guest speaker for the evening.
Hey, I'm Ari from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, living in the DMV at this point in time in my life. I am friends of OTK and God speaker.
Did she
And I'm
say?
just here to correct these niggas. That's it.
Did she say she was living in the DMV?
Yeah, that's what we.
That's
Yeah, the part of the vehicles.
that's what I thought. Okay, all right, cool. I mean, hey, um, so Megan and Tori has been hot in the feeds lately. They trending right now. No, they're not trending right now. No.
It definitely trending right now. From what I've been told and what I've seen and what I've read, the script has totally flipped from a year and a half, completely. People might be owing somebody an apology. So
Listen,
Let's get off of what they saw. All they saw was her walking out of the truck with a gunshot into her foot. That was it. What you didn't see was they were actually hanging out and partying because I seen the long video. It was Kylie Jenner, her, him, and some other people. There was more to that story than what happened, but everybody just assumed that since they seen her all damaged and walking out, that everything was on him.
yeah, because a year ago I didn't even know this best friend had existed or had anything to do with it,
Right.
and then all of a sudden in the news, a couple of months ago, it's like, oh, maybe a month ago, I think I found out the best friend will testify. Tori's trying to get her not to, and then I was like, well, who's the best friend? So I'm looking, and it said now that the best friend had a gun
mhm.
as well as Tori, and Pretty Face brought up to me saying that, well, it might have been the best friend's gun that went off. And I was like, yeah, that could bring in another, another storyline. And now all of a sudden she's not talking.
So from inside the trial, they're saying that yesterday, I believe they had the DNA experts come, and they verified that if Tory would have shot the gun 5 times, like they claim he did,
He would have had gunpowder.
he would have not only would he had gunpowder residue on his hand, but his DNA would have been on the weapon. But
Right.
there was like his DNA was inconclusive, so that mean that it wasn't on that it was. They're not saying that it wasn't on there, or they're not saying that it was on there. It's just not enough of his DNA on there to say that he actually, But they're saying because of that. But you know who DNA was present on the gun? Kelsey's, and that's why she's invoking her Fifth Amendment rights because she don't want to incriminate herself. Because a year ago this time, apparently she was the witness that was saying that Tori is the one that shot Megan, and Megan went off of that. So like that's you know a lot of people gonna be owing Tori an apology. And I actually
Wow.
read like comments and stuff. Like I was reading the comments, because people admit they wrong when they wrong, right?
Right.
But everybody comments like, "Oh, he might have wiped his fingerprints off before the cops got it," and we was just like, "All right, how can he wipe his fingerprints off but not wipe nobody else's fingerprints off?"
Yeah, the story at the beginning did say it sounded crazy. And I had never turned on Tori the whole time. I mean, when dude dropped that album right after that happened, like I listened to it. I streamed the whole thing. I had to see like what he said. I wanted to know his side because the media was against him. Everybody was against him, though. He was He was under
Mm-hmm.
fire. He was under fire, and I didn't like it. I didn't like that for him at all. So just something told me something wasn't right. And now look at this. All this coming out. You know they try to say he was trying to offer Megan $1 million not to talk.
Yes, but that's the crazy thing now that you say that because I felt the same way. That's why I didn't really feed into it too much. I was just gonna wait till everything play out because you gotta realize when they first started reporting everything, it was like, oh, she had glass in her foot, like some shattered
Yeah,
glass had
right,
went in her
exactly.
foot, and then that glass turned into
To
bullets,
bullets.
and then turned into bullet fragments, and I'm just like, what?
Where's the story going? Where's it coming from?
So when the story kept switching up like that, I was just like, you know what? Yeah, man, I ain't pointing at nobody, bro. I'm not pointing fingers at nobody. We're gonna just let this play out.
Sometimes
And
you
then
could look at an innocent man and just tell. Tory, like on the little snippets and stuff that he was putting online when he finally did say stuff he was saying on his music and in his songs, like nah, he really sounded like you could hear it sometimes. Like dude is like it's almost like desperation. You almost hear desperation.
they were saying that they had text messages where he was apologizing to her. But of course, why they got in the court and none of these text messages came up. You know what I'm saying? Like none of these text messages they had. The prosecutors didn't bring none of these so-called text messages they say they had out. And then the story came out that so apparently Meg and Kelsey is best friends, right? And apparently, so Kelsey used to date the baby. Apparently, Meg started sleeping with the baby.
But I thought Megan didn't
Kelsey,
sleep with the baby.
hey, no, the baby came out and said she slept with her, and Meg said came out. She didn't deny. She was like, "I'm a grown woman. I could do what I want to do." And then on top of that, so apparently Kelsey was the one originally talking to Tori, and Meg turned around and started sleeping with Tori, and that's where all of this. And it was another person. I forgot who it was. It wasn't Usher. It was somebody. Somebody Kelsey also was dating, and Meg turned around and started sleeping with them too. So that's why they was coming out. That's the reason why they saying Kelsey is the one that actually shot Meg because I think they saying Tori and Kylie Jenner was in the pool together or something like that. And yeah, they all were in the pool together, and somehow somebody told somebody to get out, told Tori to get out. The jealousy started. I think it was Meg told Tori to get out, something like that. And that's when the altercation started. And that's when Kylie kicked them all out. Like she kicked them all out. She told them to get out. Well, like, and then apparently that's when Meg and Kelsey started fussing about, oh, you always sleeping with everybody I get with, or something like that. And that's the reason why that's what the reason why it's coming out now that Kelsey may have been the one that shot her. That's the reason why Kelsey said she wanted to invoke her Fifth Amendment. This is her words. I want to invoke my Fifth Amendment because I want to incriminate myself or no one else.
Dang, so it really count. It's really coming out.
Yeah, so it's actually deeper than what it was first reported. Because at first it was like they was all in the car, and then it was like Meg told Tori something about he a bad artist or some shit like that, and then he got out and shot at her foot. It was like dance, bitch, dance. But Kelsey came out in court on the stands, I think Friday, and was like, she don't, she. They was like, so did Tori tell Meg to dance? And she dead ass looked at the prosecutor and was like, now where did that come from?
What artist wasn't what's his name?
Lucas Joyner?
Johnny Lucas.
Joyner Lucas, yeah.
Yeah, Johnny Lucas. So wasn't Johnny Lucas in that lineup?
What lineup?
That lineup of one of them artists that went up against Tory, that
I
Bastard.
don't know. A lot
Cause
of
I
people was
cause I
bashing.
know there was a time them two they was going back and forth. And a lot of people didn't. I mean, Johnny Lucas, I like his style of rap. I like his music form. But I think Tory ate him up, like lyrically. And Johnny's nice, but I think
Yeah.
like the pain and the desperation that Tory was going through, uh, inflamed something within that just made his music a little bit better.
But that's another thing. I don't listen to Joyner Lucas and people like that. Like
Wow.
that I don't know what kind of rap you call that, but it's like
Um, what's they call it?
More like an alternative rap.
Yeah, but
Like,
I've heard another term for it, like awakening or something like that. I can't remember
yeah,
offhand. You know what I'm talking about though.
yeah. It's more like how Eminem rap, but Eminem rap about his life. Press X. But like him, he rap about like, he got that style of rap where not only he rapping about stuff that's going on in the world, but like he's like it's like a dark rap on some shit. I don't know.
Some of
It,
his songs are a little
it's just off
darker.
to me.
It's but it's one of those he's telling a story, but at the same time he's trying to enlighten you to certain things that's going on, like you said, that's going on in the world. You know, uh, basically shedding the light on dark things by using those dark things.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
And
And he's a garbage rapper. It's just that I don't listen to him.
yeah, and I used to hear people say that he's actually nice. I don't, it's not something that I'm saying I
I heard
listen to every day, but the music that I've heard, like I've played it a couple of more times, than once. There's some things, but I was like, yeah, I'm not playing that again.
got like a colorful style, contacts and different color, like I don't know.
Contact. I don't think I never see
It's
it.
more like music videos. It's like emo rap. If you think if I that's what I call it. I don't know.
Oh, he's trying.
We talking about the same dude?
Yeah,
I don't Joanna don't give me like emo.
not emo, but like
Oh,
he
all
give
right.
like like you said the woke rap. That's
Yeah,
like
right. Yeah. It's music like that, that every now and again I listen to kind of shake off the damn depressed music. Cause say a lot of rap is depressing, and if it's not depressing, then they're talking about like all they damn cars and money, and it's like, yeah, this is boring. I like when rap told a story.
exactly.
Give me a song that tells a story. Don't give me a song that tells me about all the flashy things that you got that don't mean diddly squat to me.
Like your Tupac, your like with the Brenda having a baby and all that shit. Brenda's
Hell
like
yeah.
told the story at first when I first heard Chosen Story. I always thought that song was like a comic story. But as I start listening to it more and more, it's actually some shit that happened, like some real life shit. I think it's just the intro that threw me off, and that's why like most my songs pretty much tell a story. It's not just off. This is just the way I am. So I feel like that type of music get through to more people than just rapping about money, hoes, cars, and clothes.
But they listen to that.
They do, they do. And that's why it's so, it's so hard to come up in this music business because people, like I said, people they'll sit there all day and be like, "Oh, it's the music. All y'all do is rap about violence. Y'all rap about." But that's what's getting motherfuckers paid. That's what's getting motherfuckers contracts. That's what's getting motherfuckers, the life, to feed their family. Ain't nobody signing people that's actually telling stories no more. Like they're not signing people like that no more. People like that not getting contracts. People not like that not getting sold out shows and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Because they're not appeasing to the larger
The
crowd.
audience.
So I got to rap about shooting Joe Blow around the corner, man, to get me a contract. So basically, you got to sell your soul for the music industry.
Pretty much.
Ain't that cool?
Like even like who was it? Not little TJ. What's the other? Lateca. Even Lateca was like, bro, like the stuff I rap about, I don't do this shit. I don't do it. But that's what got him his contract. That's what get him, millions of dollars in his pocket and
No,
shit.
little TJ
He
about
even
to sell out.
like
He just
I
got shot.
don't do this shit. And you can look at little you can tell he not that type of person. He not toting no guns. He not on a block every day. You can look at him and tell. But like this is the shit he has the right. He have to. This is what gets him paid. That's what people listen to. And
So
like that's why with me it's kind of great being where I'm from because I can rap about stuff, but not necessarily. It's not me. I can tell a story behind it because 9 times out of 10, whatever I'm rapping about, I didn't either seen, I done, or I seen somebody do, or had somebody around me do that. You know what I'm saying?
So you're saying that you can tell the same, the same story. You can rap about the same thing, but basically telling the story of something you witnessed or something one
Exactly.
of your friends did and they told you about.
Exactly. I know, like my brother or something, and they done been in that situation. I'm just rapping about that situation. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's easier for me than a person like who grew up in like none of this stuff happened. They had a great, their life been great. They've been silver spoon fed. They rap about this stuff, but they only rapping about it because it's getting the bills paid. They never actually witnessed it. They never actually seen it. They never actually been around it. They never actually did it. You know what I'm saying? Like they didn't even grow up in an environment where it happens at. Like New Orleans, everything happens. So it's easy to rap about, it's easy to rap about the violence. It's easy to rap about the drugs and stuff like that because 90% of the people that grew up or live in New Orleans right now, the kids, they didn't seen or been around this. No matter who your parents is, I don't care if your parents go. It don't even have to be your parents. It could be the next door neighbors. It could be the man across the street. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So I'm curious. Who do you think, uh, artist wise, are those that tell a story and not their story?
Drake, off the hat, off the rip, off the rip. Everybody know off the rip. Look, he already done said he came out publicly. Who else? Let me see. I don't know. It's countless people though. It's countless people.
You feel like are any of them from New Orleans?
Nah, nah. I like like I said, 90% of the people, and that's why if you go listen to a lot of the artists that's in New Orleans, the rappers, you know, just scrolling through Instagram, seeing somebody post their shit. I just dropped a song on my story, and you listen to it. It's gonna be about. I guarantee it's gonna be about drugs, guns, violence, killing somebody. That's just that's just the way people are.
That's what.
That's just the way
So
this
so that's the
is.
type of
That's the
shit that's
environment,
always on your timeline, right?
huh?
That's the type of shit that's always on your timeline.
Yeah, like that's just New Orleans.
So outside of New Orleans, like maybe where you are now or contacts you have that from people you met when you were with the Marines. They're all over the globe. Different things are being posted about different topics being talked about or trying to someone on social media just want to post something that they found interesting or want to shed light on it. Is it all for the social media or is it all for likes? Is it all for money? Is it all for show? Or is your timeline like legit? Mostly is 100% legit.
Well, starting with out here, like I don't know because I got mixed feelings about out here. Like the DMV, maybe she can give you more insight on the DMV area, but like DMV for the most part, it's not a New Orleans, but it's like New Orleans on some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like you got your violence, you got your hood violence. Southeast, northeast, all of them. They be yeah, they get active like that. A little bit.
Why does violence and sex sell so damn much? Like, what's the point? Like, what is the lure? Everybody wants to rap about killing, and everybody now. But see, that's my thing. Like, you rapping it, you selling this, and people buying it. But then you got these people that are buying it, and they out here like actually doing, what you're putting on this music. And of course, like basically what we're saying is you're not even living like that, but yet you selling that. And
I'm gonna give you a question. What movies you grew up watching? Now I'm gonna start naming off some movies, and you be like, you just tell me yeah, or no. You ready?
okay, go.
Shotters,
Yeah.
Menace to Society.
Yeah.
You get where boys in the hood. You get where I'm going with this?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, you grow up with the movies. You see them get money on the movies like this. What else? Paid in full. Like you see them. You see what bringing the money. So you got people. When you grow up, you're like, damn, I want to get money like that. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people that like. If you actually listen to people music, they'll be like, yeah, I was supposed to be a ball player, but that shit, that shit took too much. It took too long. And I jumped off the porch and I got a little drugs in my hand, got started getting a little money, and then it just like it's what get the bills paid quicker. So everybody want to live that lifestyle, but
True.
nobody knows what it takes to actually live that lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Like for example, sex selling because porn stars and shit like they fronting all this money and shit. Then you so that's when you got people. Let me go to OnlyFans. Like they don't even try to go to college no more. Like college not even an option for people no more. I get so many females just go straight to OnlyFans. I'd be like, damn, like she just graduated high school last year. She already got an OnlyFans. You know what I'm saying? This is like, did you even try to go to college? Like, did you even try to get a regular job or anything? Did you even try to get a trade or anything? Like, people don't even try no more because you got all these easy avenues. You know what I'm saying? Or I could just show some titties. Nah, that's $200 a fucking $200 a day. You know what I'm saying? So people see that shit and they just like, all right, I could either run to OnlyFans, Pornhub, and all this shit and just show my body and make this quick money today, or I can go to college for 4 years and pray that I get a good paying job after I graduate. Which one would you rather do?
So now I probably going, take the long route. I'll take the long journey. But the only reason that I can say that I'll take the long journey is because at the age of, coming out of high school or almost out of our high school, if we can use the terminology off the porch, I was
Mm-hmm.
already 10 toes down. But to stay on
Right.
topic, let's talk about these 90 movies, all right? So you said Boys in the Hood, Menace to Society, Shotters, uh,
Mm-hmm.
you left out New Jack City, okay?
Jack City,
New Jack,
yeah,
you
you
got
know.
listen, you gotta put Nino Brown in there. You understand? If we're gonna talk about some crazy ass movies, but when you talk about let's talk. There was a lot of positive movies in the '90s. There are great movies that are out there, and if you search them, like say you search positive black movies, you
Right.
they're not gonna give you much. They're gonna give you like soul food. They're gonna give you soul food. They're gonna give you Baps, Waiting to Exhale, and Sister Act. That's it. That's all they give you. But if you check out further down below, it tells you in the BuzzFeed at BuzzFeed.com 56 black 90s movies you need to watch for street cred. Like, why do I have to watch the movie for street cred? And it's like that in Google, like they is selling that, you know? Like it's telling someone, hey, you won't have black street cred unless you've watched these movies. It like goes along with the hey, I'm gonna take your black card. Like with the with the what?
But
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 we still leaving out the
but
good new. We still leaving out the good ones, man. House Party,
but
but what?
but also, what's another '90s movie that came out? And I think it was more on a positive side, but it was overshadowed because at the same time it was low key bringing light to like the same shit I'm saying. Like these '90s movies just had they were most of the '90s movies was just about drugs, guns, and all that shit. It was bringing this shit onto us because when you think about it, if but we took it as a joke because that's what it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be a parody, and what was it? Don't be a menace while drinking juice in the hood. You notice how every time something positive happens in a movie, they turn around and it's like, now nothing positive happened in the black movies. You get what I'm saying? So
No,
it's
that
not
was
just
a
me saying,
parody,
yeah, but it's actually movies that actually point the finger just the way I'm pointing the finger. You know what I'm saying?
right?
Like before when Trey what happened? Damn, man, we need to stick together. We need more black people. And then they sitting there crying, and then he was like message, but we took that as a joke
Now, yeah, hey, we kind of did.
the beginning when his mama dropped him off and they was sitting in the car and he was like, "You coming back?" He said something and she was like, "Nah, Trey. There's no positive black females in these movies. Like, look, like, why would you know what I'm saying?" So it's
Facts.
like not only did we know like it was a bunch of negative movies out there portrayed of us, but it was all like even a parody of those black movies was made this, was bringing light to it. Like, there's nothing positive in these black movies, and they're saying, and we just took it as a joke. We just laughed because, it'd be out of context in the movie or something like that. Because that's the way Don't Be a Menace was. It was just an out of context movie.
Yeah, but biggest joke in that movie was, as from a man's standpoint, was his dad. How your dad is like 3 years older than you. Basically, the message is, you know, babies raising babies. There's no men raising men. You know what I'm saying? Like they said it back then. This is still true today. There's no men. Well, it's more true today. I think there's a different message out there. I see more fathers involved nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the fathers. But back then, like that was the thing. It was babies raising babies, so it was gonna be generations to come of, like grown ass little boys. Excuse my French, but and there is that. Man, it's crazy how you'll run into it a lot, and the person that you're talking to will be like, oh yeah, I'm 30 something. You be like, wait, what? I thought you were younger than that. I'm sorry. Yeah, I get that a lot. Um, yeah, it's not because of your looks, huh? Yeah, don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? But and it's just, I don't know. That's the narrative nowadays. Is like it's like guns and violence, but the narrative back then wasn't so much guns and violence in every movie. It wasn't. Come on, man. Boomerang, Malcolm X. You know what I'm saying? White
You
men
got
can't jump.
Yeah,
now,
and
now,
it wasn't.
you left out Juice though. You did leave out Juice.
Yeah, we did. But what I'm saying is like the channels that was directed towards us, like BET, they wasn't and can't jump like as often that they will run Minister Society back to back or like boys to like it, I could count, I can't even count on my hand how many times, I turned on BT and paid in full on. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
It
baby
wasn't always
boy.
white man. You literally had to go on like Family Channel to watch that.
I
I
say
say
baby
baby
boy.
boy.
Oh yeah.
Baby Boy did play a lot on BET. Jason's lyrics or lyric. You
Yeah.
don't think they played that a lot?
No, they
They
play
there.
baby boy every weekend.
Nah, they used to play. I used to get
Even
tired of seeing
boy, what
Jackson
they
lyrics.
still was promoting what? They still was low key promoting like the gang violence,
Oh yeah, they chop shops, stealing cars.
Like it got like what Snoop Dogg getting out of jail, and the sex scenes. We talking about sex, the sex scenes with him and Yvette all the time. Every time they get mad, just throw a little pussy out there, everything will be all right. You know what I'm saying? Like it was, it was never. It still had that negative. Like it always pointed back toward the negative views.
So stuff like that, movies, rap, it's training our society. They're being brainwashed. But so what about the music that's actually out there that's positive? Do you think there's a I don't like conspiracies a lot. Well, I don't like to talk about them. I'm not gonna say I don't like them, but I don't like to talk about them. I am intrigued by them. But do you think that there's a different force, negatively working against the positive points or the positive movies, songs, messages that can get out there? Do you think there's some type of filter? Let's not say force, but filter. There's some type of filter that's stopping it from getting through on a, uh, on a digital scale.
I mean, I'm not gonna say there's a filter, but like for example, R&B. Like growing up in like the early 2000s, like and I'm gonna say this because of the early 2000s, like listening to music, it wasn't never about like we didn't have all the. To be honest, we never had all the really like the violence and shit in the music. It was more about money and getting money and getting girls than it was, you know, spend a block time. I don't know if I noticed that, but I noticed that. You know what I'm saying? It's just like I don't know if nobody else noticed that, but like you have noticed for example, like Duffel Bag Boy, you got like songs like when Lil Wayne was dropping and shit. Like none of that music was really about killing nobody. You know what I'm saying? It was more about getting money, getting cars, like, just stunting, like getting money, like even Young Jeezy, Gucci Man, like a little bit. Gucci Man was about the drugs and stuff, but at the end of the day, it was about getting money. It wasn't really about the violence and shit. Nobody was really talking about, oh, I'm about to, I'm about to spin a block and catch it. Nobody was talking about the shit that we talk about and that, the shit that's popular in music nowadays. You know what I'm saying? And I said, like you had more rappers making R&B songs,
I
love type songs than you
I don't
did.
know, bro. I listened to Cube. Cube wasn't out there promoting all that like that. He was telling you the
I mean,
stories about him. He was telling you what was going on, and then kind of giving you a consequence thing. But other than that, he wasn't promoting.
that's what I'm saying. It wasn't like this nowadays. This drill, like ever since Key came out in 2012, like the drill era, like everything has to be now everything has to be about I'm gonna kill somebody. You know what I'm saying? Now you gotta kill somebody to sell music. It was never like that. You know what I'm saying? Like it was back then, like Lil Wayne when he dropped How to Love and shit, motherfuckers can you literally, a gangster rapper can drop a fucking love song and everybody still be cool with him. Nowadays, you ain't catching nobody dropping no type of love songs. R&B ain't what it used to be. You still got people like Chris Brown them holding it down,
What
but
you
like
feel like R and
that's
B
it.
used to
That's
be,
it.
man? R they used to cry a lot.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what was, it was cool. It was still selling. It was selling back then. It was selling back then. Nowadays, you don't get no more motherfuckers dancing in the rain type music. You know what I'm saying? You don't get that no more.
When you say dancing in the rain, do you mean like Chris Brown dancing in the rain, or Luther Vandross dancing in the rain,
Like dancing in the rain, Jodeci, and all them niggas dancing in the rain.
rubbing all on your nipples and stuff? Ooh,
Me and my girl was just talking about that last night.
about rubbing your nipples?
But like, yeah, we was just naming that shit last night. But like everybody dropping music about how they spent the block killing people and shit like that. But that's what's selling. You know what I'm saying? That's what's hot now. You got your young boys, you got your Fredo bands, you got your little Dirks. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I can't even talk because I listen to all of them. But like at the same time, that's what's selling. That's what's selling now. That's the only shit that's really selling right now. But do they have a filter? Yes, because like I said, at the end of the day, it's like how far I gotta go to get like a you know like a crank that soldier boy type song or something that just family something that's gonna turn the community up, not nothing that's gonna bring us down. You know what I'm saying? Because like, and what I mean by that is like young boy makes some good music. You know what I'm saying? Lil Durk makes some good music. Fredo Bang makes some good music.
Yeah, now Fredo does make some good music, but what he raps about, he's selling, like he's selling the street hard. Like he always talking about dropping a bag. He always talk about sending the cash app. He got them shooters. That's all I'm saying. But when I see Fredo, now let's talk from a gamer's point of view. When I see Fredo on stream though, that's a different Fredo.
Ugly, but why? Tell me why it's selling. Tell me why motherfuckers are going out their way to listen to it.
I don't know, the same reason they go out and watch The Purge and spend millions of dollars to cut up and see people for one day do all the unthinkable crimes they want to.
Say if you was a popular rapper, right?
Okay,
You diss me. I'm another popular rapper, right?
right.
What people going? Oh, you just diss me. Now we got to go listen to OTK Skrilla because we got to see his response. You know what I'm saying? We got to see what he gonna say about this shit.
They gonna hype it up.
People listen to Young Boy and because Young Boy is dissing Fredo and Lil Durk, and people are listening to Fredo and Lil Durk because them two they teamed up, but now they making music about Young Boy, so now it's almost like being in court. Young Boy say something about Fredo or Lil Durk or King Von or something. Now all of them gotta go run and see what now they gotta go run and
No,
see
I'm
what
saying
they saying
so.
about
So are we the jury? If they playing court, are we the jury?
pretty much that's what it is. What it is. Just like we doing with this Megan and Tory shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody was like, oh, everybody was on Megan's side when she was talking. Everybody was on Megan's side when she was talking. You know what I'm
Why?
saying? But now that shit is in court now and shit is coming out that
Why was they on
Tory
Megan's side?
do this. You notice now everybody's waiting to see what Meg gotta say.
But
Everybody's waiting to
why
see
was they all on her side in the beginning?
because she was the only one talking. She was the only one really talking.
No, that's not true because Tori was antagonizing her.
No, indeed. They was listening to Megan because she fine.
No.
They listen, Tory don't look that good. And he bald headed in the front.
And he's a man. At the end of the day,
You see what I'm
like
saying?
when
You
you got that's what I'm saying. When you got the city hot you can do and say what's gonna go listen to. But now that this, like I said, the truth is coming out, everybody's sitting back like, oh, what Megan gonna say now? Now imagine if this was a song. You know what I'm saying? Megan said something that started something. Some shit happened. Everybody went listen to the Tory album. Now they waiting to see what Meg got to say. Now that the truth is coming to the light. You know what I'm saying? So it's selling. It's selling. Either way it goes, it's selling.
Do you think Megan really knows what happened?
I don't think
I
so. I
think
think
she
it was.
just
It
remembered
was
bits and pieces because she was intoxicated.
That part.
yeah, that's
I
what I was about to say. It was a lot of drinking that
She
night.
kind of
So
was like a blur.
all she knows is, she got shot.
so how
That's
you
all
gonna
she
know?
knows. She don't know who shot.
Yeah, so how
Us.
you gonna know who shot you?
She feel like so maybe her and Daystar, because that's what I'm gonna call him. Maybe she felt like their argument was more heated than her and Kelsey, so she probably just figured Tori did it, or the fact that he's a man, he's capable of shooting her versus this supposed to be my best friend.
That's crazy. Automatically, the dude get blamed.
I'm just speaking from different point of views. They might have took it like that because I'm saying he's getting more hate out of this situation. She is too. She's getting equal hate as well, but he's getting more because he's a man and he's always seen being aggressive because this is not like the first situation he's been in. You got to look at the August Alsina situation. So therefore, they feel like he could have possibly, definitely shot Meg.
And it was everybody was saying he got little man syndrome. So that's why
Right.
everybody was angry at him for real. Because it was like, you know, that's the
At
way
first,
little people are.
I'm sorry. At first, they was laying off him, but then when they uploaded the video with the situation about August walking past him, and then them ended up fighting August, that just make them turn it back on him again and be like, okay, so yeah, you did shoot me. We laid up off you, but like, what's wrong with you? You got to be aggressive with everybody. You got to be violent.
So y'all automatically just put this man in a particular category because he's short. He has previous altercations with a man though. There's no
He
previous altercation
did.
with the woman. There's
It don't matter. Look how he acting. You don't act like that with nobody.
who don't act like that.
Regardless if
Talking about like people in general
I'm
shouldn't.
just saying the way Tori acting is horrible. So yeah, I'm gonna feel like you might have shot her. Or why you feel like you had to fight August Alsina because he walked past you, he didn't want to dap you off.
He might have felt some form of
It
disrespect.
don't matter. Go the other way.
That's like telling someone to go on the other side of the street. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want them on your side or something.
Okay, well go on the other street.
How you know?
Well, the thing is, going on the other side of the street.
Just go play in traffic at this point.
That's what they was trying to do to Tory. Make him go play in traffic.
Well, he should have just kept his mouth quiet. He want to drop an album. He want to do this. He want to do that. So it's his fault he getting all this backlash.
But he did all that to try to let everyone know from the jump that he was innocent. He didn't have anyone to support or anyone to help him out in his time of being accused of something that he possibly had not done.
Okay, so what he paying his lawyers for?
To keep to keep the court stuff in line. That's not he's a rapper. He doesn't have any, knowledge in the court system other than probably going through it. You know what I'm saying? So how he's going to be able to go there and use the terminology and know what to file, how to file, what motions to put through, in order to keep his black ass out of jail.
Okay, so anything to protect Tory Lanez at this point.
No, I'm not listen, I'm not taking sides. What I'm saying is why he has lawyers. He has lawyers to, keep his ass out of jail. That's it. And take care of the court. All he needs to do is say, hey, I'm not guilty. Give his side of the story of why he's not guilty. Okay. And of course, when you get to that as judge and jury to figure out and come to terms with if you're guilty or not guilty, but it's up to the lawyers to prove the same thing. You know what I'm saying? It's for the judge to interpret. This is for them to prove. Like, they need to get up there and, do their job. If the prosecutor's saying, hey, Tory did do it, and I have, a substantial amount of evidence against him, I'm going to prove that he did it. But now it's just looking like a circus, and they don't have any real concrete evidence to go against Tory, especially now that now this is what it says in social media. The former best friend, okay, the former best friend has decided to change her story, and be quiet. So I'm just saying.
He should have just stayed out the light. I feel like he made things a little worse
Like,
than what it was because he should have just let his lawyers do their job. He didn't need to make no music. He didn't need to do anything.
He was being attacked.
It don't matter.
The man was being attacked.
It don't matter. He's been in the light from day one. Try to stay out of the light so we could feel like you are innocent. I want him to be innocent, but how he's been acting since this case, I mean, I don't know.
So what you're telling me is if someone attacks you on social media, you're not gonna say anything.
Well, I'm not saying you can't, but it's just he didn't have to do so much.
Now the narrative changes. I'm just saying, when someone usually attacks someone on social media, some people clap back. Some people say things. I mean, at the same time, it's a form of cyberbullying. But when it's done to celebrities, it's not cyberbullying because what they set themselves up for it. Negative. I don't agree with that. That's not cool. And the thing is, I wanna ask you guys a question. This is real important now. You ever heard of a UCC code? You ever heard of UCC code? Skrilla, you ever heard of a UCC code?
UCC, no.
So it's a uniform commercial code. It's for business. A comprehensive set of laws governing all commercial transactions in the United States. It's not a federal thing, okay? Well, we see so much going on about this case with Tory Lanez, Megan Thee Stallion, and her former friend, right?
Right.
But there's a couple of cases going on where there's people who consider themselves sovereign citizens. Not
Right.
Tory not from here.
Right.
Tory's going through court proceedings and stuff here in the States.
Mm-hmm.
There are people that consider themselves separate from the state. They're called sovereign citizens. They're their own government. They're their own ruling state. There's a couple of court cases going on now, but they don't shed light to those cases in CNN, MSNBC, CBS. You don't see these filings of these court cases. Why? Because they don't bring like you said, they don't bring the credits. They don't bring the views.
Right.
They don't bring the ratings. So on the UCC code, they got sovereign citizens who believe that your social security number and the number on the back of it can be used to access a secret account.
I heard that.
Yeah, I heard about that too.
Okay? So it said that it's supposedly accessible and true. The reason I feel they did not shed this light on these particular cases is because it is true and they don't want this information out there like that. The reason I'm bringing this up goes back to something I said earlier. Do you believe there's a filter on information, songs, messages?
Yeah, that's why I say yeah, and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna clear up my thought because when you think about it, if it's not bringing no revenue and it's not gonna bring some type of fire to it, nobody wanna, they don't really want to sell it.
I don't think that this case is
there for a while.
This is more of losing money. It's illegal. Okay, it's illegal, obviously. But why is it illegal and how is it illegal is the question. Because when you look up the case, I had to go through DuckDuckGo. I could not find it on Google.
Stay sighted in with the Huntaz podcast next week, where they will continue the conversation about uniform commercial codes and also the filtration that has been put in our society to keep certain things out in the open and certain things in the dark.